Creating custom components in the easyEDA Pro. Find the Library tab in the bottom right of your screen. If you don't see the Library tab, then press either F11 or go to View on the toolbar and click on Full Screen, and it should then be visible. So if we click on the Library tab to open the library windows, which will open up the bottom half of the screen, just like this. In a free space in the left window, right-click to open the Options menu. So not here, but here. Click on New Library. From the New Library dialog box, enter the name of the library you wish to create. I'm just going to use the name New Library. You can call it whatever you want to call it. And this will be saved on my desktop. Not my desktop. It will be saved in my C drive under Documents. Okay, save. And now here we have our new library. Now we need to decide how to arrange the items in the new library. Since the devices you create are made up of a device and a footprint, it makes sense to produce these depending on the footprint, as the schematic symbol doesn't change, but the footprint does. For example, a resistor may be mounted horizontally or vertically or be an SMD. And if you wish to transfer your schematic to a PCB, then it's prudent to use the footprint you plan to use on your PCB. As a demonstration, we'll make 3 components with the same symbol but with different footprints, and hopefully this will become clear. Let's start with a resistor, 1/8 watt vertical mount, horizontal mount, and SMD. In the next window to the right, find a free space and select Manage Categories. From the Categories dialog box, click on the plus sign to add a primary category. Select New Library if you have other libraries there. New Library. Okay, so we've selected the new library. Now we click on the plus sign, the Add icon in the primary category. Click on that and we will just type resistor. Now in the secondary category we'll select Add, and here we will type resistor V. We click on the add sign again and we'll type resistor H, and we click on it again and we'll have resistor SMD. Click on apply and then confirm. Okay, so if we go to my library now and we click on this, left click, we can see we have the resistor, and if we expand that we will see we have the categories resistor V for vertical, H for horizontal, and SMD for SMD. Okay, now if we click on resistor V, we have, by the way, we should be selected to device and not footprint. Footprint, we have nothing here yet. In device we select resistor V and then we click add. So the component will be a resistor V, and the category, if we go to the 3 dots here, we select resistor V, confirm, and in the description we will write 1/8 watt resistor vertical mount and click on Save. Okay, so now we will be faced with the symbol, what would we call this, a planning drawing space. So I always use millimeters if I can. I use metric. I don't like using imperial. But if you do want to use imperial, do so. The easyEDA Pro will automatically default to an imperial measurement. So with millimeters, it will be 2.54 and not 2.5. It will be, so we will select 0.508 as our grid size. And now we want to add the pins. It's a resistor, so we need 2 pins. So 1, 2, right click to get out of there. And now we select them both and we select the length of them. I prefer 2 millimeters. Just click 2 and that's in. The lower one we will flip horizontally like this and move this over here. Now we want to make the symbol. So if we go up here and we can see a rectangle and we go to the 0, 0 point and we will make this, how many is that? That's about, looks about right. If you start with your pins, then it will give you an idea of how big you want your symbol to be. You don't want something that's massive and then when it goes onto your schematic you find it's bigger than a transistor. Okay, so now we position the pins. That's done. And both pins, we select them, and pin name we don't want to have that because it's not like it has a function. Pin number we do want, so we select this one, and this was 1, this one's 2, perfect. And now we want to change the position of the pin numbers, and we will also change the size. I much prefer 1.5 millimeters, nice, small, and obtrusive. Okay, so now we click on Save, and we'll see we'll get a message to say it was successfully saved. Now that's great. Now that will be exactly the same for resistor H. So if we go to resistor H and we click on, sorry, before we go there, if we select this whole thing, Control C to copy, and then we go to resistor H, add, and we will call this one resistor H, category, resistor H, confirm, and 1/8 watt, watt resistor horizontal mount. Click on Save, and we'll be presented with the same thing again. And now we go Control V and 0, 0, 0, 0. Fine. And then we click on Save, saved. And then we go to resistor SMD and we go to Add and resistor SMD, category, resistor SMD, description, 1/8 watt, resistor SMD. we'll add the code here because SMD has codes for wattage, and this will be a 0805 1/8 watts SMD resistor, and click on save. And we go here again, we go back down to 0.0508 V, and as you can see, all of the symbols are the same. We saved this, saved successfully. So now if we have a look at these, let's just delete them, and if I want to click on library again, if I want to look at resistor V, and I go highlight it and then click edit, you can see there it is. Good, and they're all the same. If I go to resistor H, edit, same thing. So they're all the same. You may, unfortunately, there is no single thing for a symbol. It's a device we are making, so that makes this a bit superfluous. However, now what we want to do is to go to footprint. So we go to the footprint tab and click on that. Right click, manage categories again, add the category, and the category will be resistor, and the secondary categories again we have resistor V, add resistor H, add resistor SMD, apply, confirm, OK. So here we are, we're in the footprint tab, and we have our resistor V, and now we need to measure our component because we're going to make the silk screen for this component. So if we go to resistor V, let's get rid of this for a second, resistor V, and add. Footprint will be 1/8 watt. Watt. Resistor V, and it will be resistor V, confirm, description, 1/8 watt resistor vertical mount. Save, and now it will ask us to make the drawing for it. Now the size for a 1/8 watt through-hole resistor is 6 millimeters long and 2 millimeters diameter. So let's add a pad, and the pad will be here and here. You see that we don't get a choice of the grid here. The grid is already set for us, but we get a choice between imperial and millimeter. I'm still leaving it as millimeter. Okay, so take the two pads and we give them a size. The diameter of this we'll call 1.75. The hole, it's a round pad, and the hole diameter will be 0.75, and that's fine. Now we will find a place for them. Center Y will be 0, so they're both on the 0 axis now. The first one here will be at 0, so that's 0, 0, and this one will be at the radius of the component is going to be 1 millimeter, and I think a 2 millimeter separation will be fine, so center this at -3. So there is our there are our pads already made. Now we want to add a silk screen. So if we go to here, the tools, and we go to circle, and we make a circle of 1 millimeter. Whoops, let's change it to silk screen, and the radius will be 1. Enter. And then we take a line, so we go back here to polyline, and we go from here to here. Sorry, let's just do this again. Line, top silk screen, there, bollocks. Okay, let's start again. We take a line and we put it there. And now we can see the start of the line. Start X will bloody annoying program. Start X will be -3. Enter. Start Y will be 0. Enter. End X will be 0. Enter. End Y will be 0. Enter. And there we are. This is our footprint. So this is the silk screen that you will see on your printed circuit board when you transfer it. So now we go to save. Saved successfully. Shut that down. And now we go to footprint resistor H. Click on add. So 1/8 watt resistor horizontal, and resistor horizontal, confirm, 1/8 watt and we click on save, and now we have to do the same thing. Okay, we could be smart and make little curved ends for this thing and all the rest of it, but it is after all a silk screen we're putting on here, so we're just going to go down here and we're going to go rectangle, and we'll make the rectangle, oh Jesus, and we'll make the rectangle, and it will be 6 millimeters long, and it will be 2 millimeters high. So now right click, and then we can move this into the center, and start X was -3, start Y will be 1, width is fine, so that's now centered. Fine. Now if we add a pad, now we want this pad and this pad to be 2 millimeters away from the centered, 2 millimeters from the edge of the resistor, just give us space to add the legs. Okay, so this one, again we're going to make it round and 1.75 diameter, and this one too actually. Round, 1.75, enter, and if we select both of them, the diameter of the hole will be 0.75, that's fine. And now this one will be, we said 3, so that will be 5 position. So -5 millimeters, enter. And this one will be 5 millimeters, enter. And if we select them both using the control, and the center Y will be 0. Enter. Okay, now we're going to add the legs to this. So we go here, and here, and here, and here. Okay, this one, end X will be minus 3.8, and start Y 0, end Y 0, and X 3 minus 3.8, so this will be 3.8, 0, 3, and 0. Okay, so that's it. So this is what you will see for a horizontally mounted transistor on your silk screen. That's fine, so we click on Save. Saved successfully. Get rid of that one. Oh, keep doing this. Library, resistor SMD, add footprint 1/8 watt resistor SMD, category resistor SMD, confirm, description 1/8 watt, 0805 resistor SMD. 0805 is the physical size, or the code for the physical size of a 1/8 watt SMD resistor. Okay, save, and now we will be asked to add this one. So, take a pad again, let's go close in, and we will add 2 pads. Select them both, and instead of layer, multi-layer, we will do top layer, and we will call them rectangular, and the width will be, I think for this particular size it will be, we'll call it 1.75 and 1.75. Okay, and the position, center Y will be 0. That's good. And then we select this one, and this one will be -2. Enter. Sorry, that's wrong. You would have to look up in the data sheet what the distance between the pads are. This one will be -1. No, that's not right either. -1.5. There we are. And this one will be 1.5. So there we have our pads. All we've got to do is to make the silk screen. So we go back to here, rectangle, go to silk screen first, and then we make it, which will be 3, 1.75. Okay, now we move this up to here, and our start X will be 1.75 minus 0.875, That's wrong. Minus 0.75. No. Jesus, what did I say this was? Minus 1.75. Minus 1.75. Okay. And start Y was 0.875, and that's it. So that's not right. That's it. Okay, so there is our SMD footprint or silkscreen. Click on Save. Saved successfully. Okay, so we have a footprint for each of these, and we have a device for each of these. So let's start now. If I go to, let's get rid of that for a second. Library, device, resistor SMD, and this is an 0805 1/8 watt resistor. So we go in this and we go to Edit, and in the left hand upper window here we will see Footprint. We click on this, and then from the three dots we select our new library. This is a 1/8 watt resistor 805. Click that. There it is. Confirm. And save. Okay. Now we go to resistor V. Click on this. Click on Edit. Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. I've actually made this one with the SMD. This is resistor V. Edit. Save. So there is our resistor symbol, and when we transfer it to a PCB, this is what we will get. So let's do resistor H and edit, and click here, and we go new library, resistor, horizontal, confirm, save, and then we go to resistor SMD, edit, click here, and we go to new library, resistor SMD, confirm, and let's save it, and that's it, I think. Let me just check. Resistor V, that's correct. Resistor H, that's correct. Resistor SMD, and that's correct. So each of these have their own footprint, which makes sense now. This will be on the schematic, but when I transfer this to a PCB, I will get a SMD resistor placed on the schema on the PCB. One thing we can do, we can get rid of this. We don't need it, and that is sorry. There we are. And the same thing for edit. Take that off. And this one, SMD, edit. That one's already off. Ah, this one. Okay, so that's that finished. And this is what you would do you would make, if you were going to do capacitors, for instance. They can be mounted vertically or they can be mounted horizontally. Transistors as well. You can have diodes, the same. But it's imperative that you have the symbol linked to the printed circuit board device, or the silk screen, so that when we transfer our schematic to a PCB, we get the correct mounting. Of course, it may be that you don't want to have a specific mounting. You may not want to have your resistors mounted like this. You may want them all to be mounted horizontally, in which case you just use the one symbol, the one silk screen. Okay, I know that's very confusing, but at least you get the gist of how to make a component in your new library. That's it.